Okay. Hello. Hello. Welcome to this month's Patreon live stream, but it's live for everybody. I'm going to be talking about Goons and Ghosts, my new Tunnel Goons hack tabletop role-playing game about busting ghosts. Going to be talking about the game itself. We're going to look at the PDF, which you can get right now on Patreon. Going to be talking about the 3 pamphlet adventures that are coming this month on Patreon. I got a Kickstarter that I want to look at, and then I'll talk a little bit about my upcoming plans for Patreon, and then we'll do some Q&A with the chat after that. Take a sip of water. So, hello everybody in chat. I'm gonna wait a little bit for some people to get in, but I'm gonna be kind of just talking through some stuff at the beginning of this stream, and then I'll start interacting with chat and answering questions and stuff a little bit more. But I got a completely unplanned spiel to go through as we look at Goons and Ghosts. So you know what? I'm just gonna jump right in. We'll let people come in, and you know, if we got to go over some stuff again later on in the stream, that's fine too. So, Goons and Ghosts. Hello everybody in the chat. Hello. Goons and Ghosts is a hack of Tunnel Goons by Nate Tremay. It is a very wonderful little system. We'll talk about the rules. We'll get okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is the cover of the PDF. The cover of the zine too that is currently at the printer. So yeah, Goons and Ghosts. It's a hack of Tunnel Goons. A lot of the verbiage, a lot of the way things are explained is kind of ripped from Mouse Ritter, because I think that that rule book is really great at explaining complex things simply and in a nice order. So I took a lot from Mouse Ritter. The game is, you're a Ghostbuster. If you've seen Ghostbusters, all of the systems and stuff in the game are basically to make it a fun Ghostbusters game. You get called to go take care of a ghost, trap it, and so you kind of go on these missions to trap ghosts. The way you play is, and I'm gonna do a video in the future, more in-depth video about how to play the game, but I think it's fun to go over. So basically you got 2d6, you got 3 stats, and you got gadgets. So when you do something that you would roll for in a tabletop role-playing game, you roll 2d6, you add the appropriate ability score. So there's body, smarts, and ESP instead of the normal 6 stuff. There's only 3. And then you also add +1 to the roll for each gadget that you are carrying, that you can explain how it relates to what you're doing. So I'll kind of explain that a little bit more. And then you can also add +1 if a teammate is helping you, because you know, you're a team of Ghostbusters, so you're helping each other out. So that's basically the Tunnel Goons rules right there. That's how you play Tunnel Goons. And then on top of that, when you shoot your particle thrower, instead of rolling 2d6 and adding all the modifiers, you just roll 1d6 and you add nothing. And this is to kind of force teamwork. Like you want to all be shooting your particle throwers at the ghosts. The whole team needs to be shooting their particle throwers at the ghosts to capture it. So this is kind of like a little mini system layered on top of Tunnel Goons for actually trapping the ghosts. There's some ways you can mess with that. There's this little insult to injury thing where if you shout out a lighthearted insult at the ghost, you get to add +1. That's kind of the only way you get to add a modifier to your particle thrower. And then if multiple people roll ones, you cross the streams and something really bad happens. So in the last playtest game, all 3 players rolled ones on the final bad guy, like actually I'll explain the story later, but this chaos demon comes out of a portal and they cross the streams, and so we rolled on this crossing the streams table, and I think they got overflow and ghost, probably. Yeah, overflow and ghost. So, you know, this demon came out of a portal, and then we decided that like a bunch more ghosts came flooding out of the portal, and all chaos broke loose. It was very, very cool, especially because all 3 of them rolled ones. They were like all rolling bad, and then you know, one of them was like, "Oh no, I rolled a 1," and then another player was like, "I rolled a 1 too," and then there's like, "I rolled a 1 as well." It's like we get to cross the streams. Really, really fun. Falling unconscious. Actually, the falling unconscious rule, this came from the first playtest. If the party dies, because the first playtest there was a TPK or whatever. So if the party dies, we kind of like came up with this rule that I really love. There's no death. If the party is all knocked unconscious, the ghost possesses them for 2d6 hours, and then the players get to decide what sort of trouble that they get up to. A lot of this is like player, you know, it's meant to like make the players kind of how do I explain it? Like get involved more. You know, there's a cool character sheet that we're gonna see in just a minute, but it's like getting them to think about what's on the character sheet instead of just doing what's on the character sheet, if that makes sense. And that's the great thing about Tunnel Goons. That's all Tunnel Goons. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, it's fun to roll bad sometimes, you know. So yeah, creating a character. Let's we're just gonna skip. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't skip through this. I think I was gonna say, oh, let's roll a character, but in the video, like actually explaining all the rules, I'm gonna roll a character there. So basically, you just roll on these tables, and that makes your character. So you roll a d6, and you roll on the hobby background, the profession background, and the personality background. That gives you your stats and a few gadgets, and then you roll for some more like actual Ghostbuster gadgets. And then you get to create a team too, so you get a headquarters, your vehicle, and then you name the team as well. And then you pick somebody to draw the logo, because that's always fun. So this is the character sheet. I'm very, very proud of the character sheet. I mean, I just made a version of the Proton Pack for the character sheet, but a couple things that I think are pretty cool. So like basically the rules are all on the character sheet, so you can see particle thrower equals 1d6, so you know what to roll for the particle thrower. Danger is 2d6 plus stat plus gadget. And then your 3 stats are right here, your gadgets are right above. And then You have a little name tag here that you can write your name in, and then you got the keys to your headquarters and your vehicle right here. And then who you're gonna call is the name of your team. So yeah, a big part of making this zine, and then the 3 adventures that we'll talk about in a second, was having fun with the layout and the art style, doing something a little bit different than I've been doing with Dragontown and all of the subsequent zines, the Darkness Below stuff. So like just playing with a different art style a little bit. It's like kind of meant to be like, if we go back to it's like kind of meant to be the real Ghostbusters cartoon mixed with a little more like dirty, grimy, what I imagine like a user manual that the actual Ghostbusters would give you. So like it's kind of there's like the paper clips and stuff, and like torn sheets of paper and all of that stuff. Yeah, so I'm sort of missing chat here, but Brandon, what's up? Jason, what's up? I'm gonna kind of go through this stuff, and then I'll like get to chat and answer questions and everything. So the book also includes some GM resources, just kind of like my thoughts on how you should approach running this game. Real simple. Ghost reactions in case you need them. There's conditions, so it's like just an easy way for like you get slimed, you get stunned, you get zapped, like a way to sort of make encounters with the ghosts a little more interesting and varied. And this is another kind of player facing part of the game where I talked about this in another video, but it's like I started getting like real into the rules and stuff, and like trying to make rules for all of these conditions, and then I was like, wait. It's kind of goes against the spirit of Tunnel Goons. And so there's all these conditions, and there's just a line of like what the Ghost Master, the GM, would say to a player, but then they get to decide like how it actually affects them. So it's like if you get sick, it just says, here comes your lunch, and then the player gets to decide like what that actually means in terms of like what their character is doing, so yeah, I think the conditions are fun. It's just like a fun, easy way of describing how ghosts interact with different ghosts interact with humans. And then we get into the ghosts. So there's a really I really wanted to keep it like Tunnel Goons, where the ghosts just have one stat. They have like the difficulty score, but it just didn't work out like math wise with the proton pack thing, and I couldn't figure out another way for the teamwork proton pack part of the game to I don't know. So ghosts have 2 stats. It still works. It's still like very, very easy. So for example, we have the ectoplasmic apparition, the Slimer equivalent. So he has an HP stat of 8, which it's the same. It's the same as like a character, right? They have HP and then they have an ability stat. So they have an ability difficulty score. So like HP is just for when the proton packs are hitting the ghosts, the particle throwers are hitting the ghosts, and and trying to reduce it to 0 so then they can trap the ghost. But then the ghosts have abilities that have the standard difficulty score. 8 is easy, 10 is moderate, 12 is hard. And so the players roll everything. So if a little Slimer uses the projectile slime ability on Brandon, then Brandon would roll 2d6, add all of the modifiers and the gadgets and stuff, and see if he gets slimed. If he rolls under an 8, the difference between his roll and the 8 is the damage he would take. And then he also would become slimed, and we go through that. So yeah, there's 4 example ghosts, ranging from easy to hard. Eliac, the herald of an ancient god who wants to enslave humanity. And then, yeah, so based on Tunnel Goons and Ghosts, it's you can get it right now from signing up on Patreon. You can get the digital version, and then once I get books in, it'll be available pretty quickly in my online shop. Let me go ahead and paste a link to the Patreon in the chat there. It's Patreon. I think it's a really good deal. There's a lot of stuff on there right now, so if you sign up, you get access to everything. And then this month, I'm gonna go. Switch back. Okay, so last month was Goons and Ghosts, the actual game. This month, I'm going to be releasing 3 one-shot pamphlet adventures, and what you're looking at right now on the side is the outline, like the very rough, like just typing what I need for the playtest game of the second adventure, which takes place in a Target, which will be, it's written as Target in here. Everything's going to be Target flavored, but I probably won't call it Target in the actual thing. Hold on. Let me grab the yes, there is international shipping on everything. So Patreon, here's the good thing about signing up. If you're international, as in non-US person, it's so weird. If you live somewhere other than the US, it's actually really, really good to sign up for the Patreon, because there's no international shipping or anything. The zine, if you want the zine, the actual physical book mailed to you, people that live in the US pay $12. People that live elsewhere also pay $12. And there's no shipping cost. It's included in that $12. So if you don't live in the US, you can it's, whereas on my website there is shipping. So if you're buying stuff later, which in this case you'll have to buy Goons and Ghosts later, you will have to pay shipping. So it'll be $12 plus shipping on the website. But there's also a discount code if you sign up for Patreon. So all patrons get a discount code for the shop. I forget what percentage it is, but it I think if you get like a couple of things, it covers shipping. So if you just get one book, it doesn't, but if you get multiple, the percentage will cover shipping. Yes. Okay. I'm trying to keep my eye on chat, but I also want to get through this so then I can actually get back to chat. So, hi Kyle. That's awesome. Wanted RPG. Yes, Weird Western. Oh, there, I don't have it next to me, but there's an amazing weird Western book that I'm blanking on the name. Okay, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. Okay, so I got 3 this month. 3 pamphlet one-shots are coming out for Goons and Ghosts. So you get the rules, you got everything you need to play there. Comes with character sheets, and then these 3 pamphlets are going to be like, they work out to be like, I think 2 to 3 hour adventures. They're very much inspired by my squeaky chair. Again, Mouse Ritter, very much inspired by the pamphlets in the Estate box set. So they're going to be similar to this, not the exact size. I actually want them to be the size of my Patreon zines. So hopefully they'll be a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier than this. I think I have a way to make that work. But I'm trying to figure out how to print brochures in a way that is cost effective, high quality, and the right size, which is difficult. Anyway, so yeah, I thought it'd be fun to look at the second adventure. So okay, my brain's all over the place. The adventures are called The Quiet Return, which is there's a poltergeist that is haunting an abandoned library. The second adventure is called The Department of Chaos, which is what we're going to look at here. And then the third adventure is called Attack of King Ectogar, which is there's a cult that's worshiping this giant slime monster in the sewers below a strip mall. You can run any of the adventures like as one shots, but then they kind of link together loosely, like pretty loosely. This cult is up to no good, basically. And you kind of like, it's mysterious in the first 2, and then you'll figure it out in the third one, basically. So yeah, what you're looking at is what I typed up to run the playtest. So the basic format of the adventures is the players get a call, and so I just read this the call that the Ghostbusters get, and this will be like the back cover. It's not really a cover, the back of the pamphlet. And then I guess they're all like formatted a little bit differently, but it's basically just going to be a map and then all of the stuff you need to know for the map kind of around it on the inside of the pamphlet. So in this case, the players are going to a target that there's these 3 chaos demons, like little demons. I'll show you a drawing of them later, that are possessing people inside. They've possessed this group of teenagers inside the target. They're causing all these they're causing all of this chaos inside the target in hopes of summoning their master, like the overlord demon, into this world via the target's electronics section. So what you got inside the actual target here. So I have wandering characters, basically because this is about people being possessed by these demons. You got to have some like non-possessed people wandering around. So whenever the characters go into a new section, the GM will roll a d6 and figure out who is in that section that is not a demon. So there's the manager that called. There's the fourth teenager that, there's a group of 4 teenagers. 3 of them got possessed by demons. This one didn't. There's a unfriendly lady shopper. There's a lost husband. There's one of the cultists. And then there is a Slimer roaming about, eating whatever it can. And then there's the stats for the demons, the abilities they have. They can like point at stuff and make stuff explode. They can like jump and climb on walls and ceilings and stuff, and then they bite, and they can also possess the players or the other wandering characters. And then so I kind of have all the stats and stuff written out for that. And then the actual store is just the I used to work at the Target headquarters, so I have intimate knowledge of a Target store layout and kind of how it works. So I thought like this is just the perfect way for me to it's like a dungeon layout that will be embedded in my brain forever because I worked there for 8 years. So yeah, there's the entrance and checkout lanes, the bathroom, which I made a little song for somebody that's in the stall. Clothing section, sporting goods, home goods, back room, toys, grocery. So in each of these places, I guess also at the beginning of the game, the GM will roll to figure out which area the demons are in, causing trouble. And if the characters aren't able to trap a demon, it'll like run to another section and start causing chaos there. So then I just laid out like each of those sections, what the demon does to cause chaos in those sections, and then it kind of culminates in the electronics section. A big portal is formed by TVs, and Abaddon, the harbinger of chaos, steps forth on a cloud of smoke. He has 6 arms and large horns, and he's covered in slime. And because he is a harbinger of chaos, whenever he's just around, chaotic things happen. So every round, I got to reformat this table, but because I just had them roll d12s, but it needs to be d6s for the game. So I got to reformat this table and kind of organize it on the scale of likelihood and stuff. But every round that this harbinger of chaos demon lord is around, just chaotic things happen. So I think in our play test, it rained down money, so the players were super excited about that. What else happened? Oh, I think he became magnetic. So one of the players was like a fire rescue person, and so they had an axe. So they just like let the axe go, and the axe stabbed into him and did damage. And then they rolled, and then they crossed the streams and everything, and all hell broke loose. Oh yeah, and then Abaddon also has this ability called chaotic transformation, which is like his kind of like big ability. And so if somebody gets close to him, he can touch them. So he became magnetic, and everybody got like sucked towards him, and then he was able to touch one of the players, and they turned into a giant slug. It was really, really fun. So yeah, that's a look at one of the adventures. So this is kind of like just my initial first draft writing. Hopefully you can see how I kind of plan stuff and write it down. But then from here, it will get like really trimmed back and will be like, not bare bones, but like only the most necessary bit of stuff. Like these pamphlets. It's not like my monthly 12-page zines where there's a little more description and stuff. It's gonna be a little more pared back, like these mouse reader manuals. So like the descriptions are still gonna be everything you need, but it's not gonna be any like flowery language or and the thing is, like, this isn't a fantasy world, right? So this is going into a Target. So we've all been into a Target or a store like it, so we kind of know, as a GM, we would know how to describe that, right? So you kind of don't need all the extra stuff. Yeah, the bathroom stall song, what was it? Tweep, squeep, deep, I don't have to pee, swoop, troop, doop, you know I gotta poo. So there's somebody in break in there having a good time going to the bathroom. Concise, that's the word, yes. Okay, so so that's Goons and Ghosts. The 3 adventures are coming this month. So again, I'll post the Patreon link again. If all of that sounds cool, sign up. You'll get the 3 adventures, and I'll be mailing them out. They'll be done by the end of the month. I'll be mailing them out next month as quickly as I possibly can, because I want people to get them in time for like Halloween and stuff. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I think it's a fun little collection of a game, It's like the perfect, well, I shouldn't say it's perfect. It's definitely not perfect. It's a fun little one-shot game, especially if you like Ghostbusters. So, Wanted RPG, I would love to do something similar to the Mouse Ritter box set. I have ideas. Maybe if if people are really interested in this game and enjoy playing it, then I can expand it a little bit more to justify a box set. We'll see. It's something I would really like to do, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna get to chat, but first, let me pull up this. Does this work? Wait, if we do this works. Let me click on this. Shrink myself. Okay, I just wanted to show this because now that we talked Goons and Ghosts and what's coming this month, I do want to talk about what's coming in the future. So probably not next month, maybe not the month after, but maybe even not until January. I don't know. I got lots of ideas. Coming soon, the next like Dragon Town, and the Darkness Below, there was 9. Jeez, there was 9 Dragon Town, and then 9 other zines that came out on the Patreon that all made like one big long story, right? So my kind of next version of that I would like to do is a pixel art NES RPG inspired campaign. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I got a plan for it. right now I think it's not gonna be 10 zines. I think it'll either be 3 or 4 as of right now, before I've like written anything outside of my sketched down notes. So all of this could obviously change, but that's with these Patreon projects, I wanna kind of do things that one, I'm interested in, because I'm making a zine a month. I gotta like stay interested, and 2, kind of like stretch some of my creative abilities. That's a weird word. I'm getting stuck in like RPG language and not like real world language. I want to like expand my creativeness, right? So what does this have to do with Heroes of Cerulean? Nothing really, other than like a pixel art adventure. Anyway, so I wanted to show this Kickstarter that's going on right now, because it's very, very cool. This is a Legend of Zelda inspired game. So like, check out the books, right? It's got the standard edition, and then it's got the gold foil book. I think that's so cool, right? So I'm not, these adventures that I'm talking about won't be for this game. They'll be system neutral, kind of like what, it's fantasy based, so it's like, use whatever system you want, really. But this system would be very cool and appropriate for it, right? I'm very excited about this. 3 stats, just like Tunnel Goons, simple character sheet. My pal Scott and I started making a game that was very similar to this, and we nixed it because there were pamphlet versions of this that we discovered, and we're like, oh, they already did it. It's already perfect. So been waiting for this Kickstarter for a long time. This has an inventory system, hearts and energy, really cool. And then it has, because it's a Zelda game, you roll D4s. You roll the Triforce and you try and just get a 4. And so based on your stats, you get to add dice to the pool and trying to get a 4. Super cool, like pixel art. Like, honestly, in my head, I'm talking about these adventures. In my head, this is kind of what the zines look like. Mine will be different. Mine are more Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy inspired. These are more Zelda inspired. But Cavern of Flame, like a woodland temple, lake tower, Cavern of Flame, and then the Cerulean Citadel. Like, really awesome. So Heroes of Cerulean. I'm gonna go ahead and post a link of this into the chat. Really excited about this, and just wanted to show it off. Everybody in here should, if you're in this stream, you're probably gonna like this. You know what I mean? Like, check it out, back it if you can, and so that kind of I wanted to show that off, and I think that covers it for my spiel here. And I talked for how long? 40 minutes. Oh my god. This is why I make edited YouTube videos. 40 minutes of me babbling. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me here. Let me go here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the announcement image that I just put up on Patreon for my 3 Goons and Ghosts adventures. So these are kind of, you got the little Chaos Demon, the red guy there, the Poltergeist, and then King Ectogar, which is, he's actually much bigger than that. And yeah, so okay, now I thought let me catch up on chat and answer some questions. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them. Let's just hang out for a little bit. Now that I blabbed for 40 minutes, I thought I was gonna do like 15. And yeah. Thank you. All the comments about how the game looks, I very much appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. Boo. Look cool, the book of Spiral. That's a good idea. Spiral bound book. Maybe that's something to do in the future. I like the idea of spiral bound books, like to have at the table. Like if you're a GM and you like I ran Red Hand of Doom, a highly modified version of Red Hand of Doom for some players. It's an old third edition or 3.5 edition? I can't remember. Third edition or something. And I got it printed. I got the PDF and then I had it printed. And then put it in a notebook, and it was really nice being able to or wait, did I get it spiral? I might have gotten it spiral bound actually. Yeah, it was so nice just being able to open it up and lay it flat, like a box set would be very, very cool. I agree. Morphs, what's up? Orelon, how's it going? What inspired this color palette? The color palette of the Caution the Ghosts one? I mean, honestly, like if you look at the real Ghostbusters cartoon, you might be able to recognize the characters that these ghosts were like modified from. I mean, they're you know, the same way I just rip off Toriyama drawings, I ripped off some I say ripped off, you know, inspired by you know, it's still like, these still feel like JP drawings, even though they're the real Ghostbusters kind of characters. So yeah, kind of that, like it's a little more, the colors are a little more desaturated than what I usually do, because the cartoon is that way. And I don't know if the cartoon is actually desaturated or if it's just like the screenshots and the, you know, just the cartoon being you know, a relic of the 90s makes it desaturated. King Ectogar. I mean, dude, like, go back and look at some of the real Ghostbusters monsters, and you'll see some really, yeah. Yeah, so a little more desaturated. I haven't decided if these 3 pamphlets are gonna be in color or not. I need to do some pricing see how the pricing works out, and then also what I have time for. Color, like the way I would do color doesn't add that much time, but it does add time. King Ectogar is, yeah. King Ectogar would have like a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It wouldn't be mini. So he's drawn small here, and you know, your joke, Brandon, is an intentional thing. So I don't want to ruin too. I already like basically spoiled the second adventure. I don't want to spoil the third one, but there's a reason. You know, the third adventure is a fun way for me to poke fun at cultish behavior. Let's just put it that way. Would it be going so far to say toxic masculinity? I don't know. Well, you know, it's just poking. Poking, but it's poking. It's just poking fun. When should we expect my very own haunted almanac? So, I do. This honestly, this month has been bonkers for me work-wise. Like maybe one of the busiest months, at least recently. Just insane. Some things happened that have made it less stressful, but I don't know, maybe more. I don't know. Anyway, my goal was that by sometime by the end of the year, I would launch a Flick Silverpin's Guide to Dragontown and the Darkness Below book Kickstarter. TBD if it's still by the end of the year. But the idea is I would like to collect and revise Dragontown and all of those zines into one book, and like it needs a little bit of revision. Part of the Kickstarter, I mean, obviously the Kickstarter would be to print a hardcover book, and it would also be to hire an editor, because it needs editing. Part of it would be part of the book, and part of the editing would be like Dragontown is written in a way that you can use it for 5e. The Patreon zines that follow it are system neutral. There's no stats, there's no anything. So part of it would be to what I would want help with the editing is like adding stats for all of the monsters and having a bestiary in the back of the book for all of the monsters and stuff that I think that's the easiest and like most helpful way of doing it. So basically it would like kind of retroactively make the whole thing 5e compatible. That's the goal. But also I am having a lot of fun making stuff for Patreon, and it takes a lot of time. So I really want to keep doing that, and it's a lot of work. You know, launching a Kickstarter is a lot of work. But I think I'm so proud of Dragontown, and I think with a little bit of work, the rest of the stuff could all like really fit together. I mean, it all fits together now, but I think it could like I wanted to say like thematically fit together, but it still all thematically fits together. Basically, I think there's like some depth to Dragontown that is missing in the rest of the adventure as a whole, if that makes sense. So there's a couple things I want to do to like add some of the depth back, because right now all of those zines, all of those adventures are good one-shots, but and I think they're all very good one-shots, and they all do like string together with this epic final battle against the darkness below. But I just want to add in a few things to give it a little bit more depth. So that's part of it too. So it's reformatting work. It's, you know, it's adding drawings. It's adding some more writing. It's editing. It's the production. You know, there's a lot to. It's making a Kickstarter page, which is not an easy thing. You know, that takes a lot of time. So it's just a matter of finding the time. And the way the rest my year looks, hopefully that's something I can get into. So a largature, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's not going to be miniatures for the Goons and Ghosts stuff, because it's not really a miniatures kind of game. Like Tunnel Goons isn't, you know, if you notice, there's no rules about distance. There's no rules about turns even, really. So like I mentioned turns and stuff in there, but there's no initiative or anything like that. So there's really no need for miniatures. And the maps, I'm not sure. I'll probably do a video about one of the maps. Just running out of time this month, honestly. So the maps in these pamphlets are going to be more GM facing and not you know the Neverland book, the maps in there, if you're familiar with that book, they're a little more abstract and like you know, it's not the typical like dungeon map that you're used to, but still helpful. It's still, I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let me catch up here. Bryce, thank you, dude. I appreciate all of your support very, very much. Future player, and I'm here to grab some metagame things and use it on the next session. What? Weaknesses of the big bad evil guy. King Ectogar is made of slime. Thank you, Jason. Would this be available? Oh yeah, morphs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this up because I went on that crazy spiel at the beginning. I think I am gonna leave it up. Yeah. So yeah, the Dragontown and Darkness Below book, I feel like, you know, the zines are special in their own way, and like, and actually some things would get removed from the zines, but to make it all one big thing instead of just like, if you're interested, if you go on my store and you're looking at all the zines on there and you see something that you think would be interesting to run as a one-shot, the zine is the way to get it. But if you want a like 15 to 20 session long adventure, then wait for the book, I guess. Because the book in my head would be like the definitive version of Dragontown and The Darkness Below and everything in between, that would be all linked together. It would be more of like a campaign adventure book than a bunch of one-shots. But just like any campaign book, you'd be able to like take stuff out, you know. So that's the idea. Did I finish drawing every monster in the D&D book? Black Monolith. I got it sitting over there on my side shelf. I have it like, it's like out. It's like on top of the shelf right next to my drawing computer. And I look at it every day. I have drawn like 5 or 6 more since the last video I did. And I think at this point, what I would like to do. So here's another project to add to the, or not add to the list, but that's been on the list. I've definitely falling out of the habit of drawing it every day, which is when it was going good. I think because I was posting them on my Instagram stories, and I've sort of fallen out of love with Instagram. I rarely look at it anymore, and I think because of that, and also because of this Patreon, because so much of my brain space is focused on love you too, Brandon. Thank you so much. I hope Julie's art show went good. It seems like she's been doing a ton and everything looks super fun and awesome. So tell her I said hello and congratulations. Yeah, Instagram, I don't know, man. Like, Instagram has been a thing. So, like, that combined with the busyness of the Patreon has kept me from, like being vigilant about drawing monsters every day. So I think the way to do it would be to... Okay, there's some patrons in here. What do you... I don't know. I don't know if it would work. I was gonna say, what would you think about just getting a book full of all of the 5e monster manual drawings? But I don't know. That won't work. It's part of the Patreon. I mentioned earlier that, like, if you live outside of the US, it's still just $12 to get a zine mailed to you. Part of it, and that's because I send the zines letter mail. United States Postal Service letter mail. And, so it's like if you put a sheet of paper in an envelope and put a stamp on it, put it in the mailbox, that's letter mail, right? You can put multiple stamps on stuff, and they have like these requirements for what's a letter and what's a package. And letter mail, part of the requirement is it has to be flat and it has to weigh 4 ounces or less. And so that's why all of the books for Patreon are this format. So they're all 12 pages. I do my best to cram as much as possible into 12 pages and make these really nice little zines. But they are it's kind of weird, but like printing with Mixam, there's paper. All of the paper is always like good quality. I think sometimes I use 80-pound text for the inside and 100-pound cover for the outside. They always do a 100-pound cover. Oh no! What am I talking about? So the zines, they weigh 2 ounces, and then I always put in extras. So the extras can bump it up to 4 ounces. So sometimes there's a big printed out map. Sometimes there's miniatures. What else have I done? I don't know. Sometimes there's extras. So I leave a little bit of wiggle room for extras. And yeah, so I just got to keep it under 4 ounces. So the problem with doing this monster manual book, there's like 300 something monsters that would not fit into 12 or even 16 pages at this size. So what I really want to do for that project, and I was thinking like maybe I just take a month where not as much is going on, which I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, but and just instead of doing 1 monster a day, I do like 6 or 7 monsters a day and just finish it in a month instead of 3 months. But if I just drew monster a day, I could be done in 3 months. I don't know, dude. There's too many ideas. Also, they just announced the one D&D thing, which they're not gonna call it one D&D. It's just gonna be called D&D. So I'm like, oh man, do I just wait for the next monster manual when like hopeful, I don't know, after that Spelljammer crap, they have to learn from that. They can't make an updated monster manual and not make it better, right? Like, do I just wait for that and then it's like a little more like I can get behind some of the better descriptions? Because even like if you go through I have my stories archived on my Instagram page. If you go through excuse me, I gotta wipe my nose here. If you go through those archive stories, there's some monsters that, you know, I do like a little description with them, and it's like, dude, because as I'm drawing them, I'm reading, you know, I'm like rereading for the first time in a long time the way that they describe these monsters, and it's like, dude, some of the it's outdated. It's like not cool. So like that's also like another little added frustration on top of the project that keeps me from being really excited about it, you know? Ivar, hello. Yes. So yeah, I think it's something I really want to do. I really want to have a big, you know, I want whatever I want to call it, Manual of Monsters, and I want the book to be the same. It won't be a hardcover, you know, bound book. It'll be like a saddle stitched stapled book, but it won't be this size. It would be the size of the D&D book, so the 8.5 by 11 ish size, so you could like put it on the shelf next to all of that stuff, but it would also be designed and there's not going to be any stats or anything like that. It basically be like an art book with all of the monsters, and the book would be designed, you know, everything is that Toriyama Dragon Quest inspired kind of take on it. So the book would be designed to reflect that as well. It's like, even though it would sit with all of the D&D books, it would also be designed different, because when I shut my eyes and think about fantasy stuff, I don't see the way that Wizards of the Coast presents, D&D fantasy. I see, I see this stuff. So, monstrous Enchiridion, yeah, that's awesome. And then the other part of the project, which I think would be very, very cool, I believe there is a way to do this. So if you, there's a couple of things that keep, okay. So if you open Adobe Acrobat, you can make PDFs that have like I know in Google Docs it's like outline, but it's almost like a table of contents, like over on the side, right? And so my idea is there would be this nice book that you can put on the shelf with your other D&D books. And then you also get this PDF where it would be, when you open it, it would just be, it'd be cool if there was like the cover or like whatever the title treatment is, right? But then it would be and maybe a little bit of instructions on how this PDF works. And then it would be a table of contents on the left. What would be really cool is if it could be like alphabetized monsters, but then also if there was a way to like say, oh, I want to look for an undead monster, or I want to look for a monstrosity or a dragon or whatever. Organized on the left, but then when you click the monster, the title and the instructions on the main page goes away, and then there is a paper miniature on the screen that you can print out. And so I know there's a way to do that. I don't know how to do it, but I know that is possible. The added complication to that is what I would really like is to be able to click the monster again, and then 2 pop up. You click it again, 3 pop up. So if you want 3 zombies, you click it a zombie 3 times, and then if you want a unicorn, you click a unicorn, and that's all on one page, and then you can click print, and you print out 3 zombies and a unicorn. I don't know if that is possible, but that is my vision of what. Look at the printable heroes. I'm gonna write that. Let me write that down. Yeah. Sounds like a website. Maybe that's easier. That might be easier. You just have access to the website. I like that better than a PDF. They have a Patreon too. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Cause that's like, what's the point of drawing 300 something monsters if you can't print them out and make them miniatures, right? Like, and like, here's the thing. It's one thing to draw all the monsters, because I'm drawing them by hand, and all of this was a project just to get me off of the computer drawing by hand. They're all drawn by hand. So it's one thing just to draw them. It's another thing to scan them in, clean them up, color them. Do I spend time coloring? That would take another year. I don't know. It's a big project. On top of the other big projects I have. And then thinking about that, so I did the video where I made the epoxy tokens with the magnets and the printouts and the epoxy sticker on top, and I was like, legit blown away by how cool those tokens were. It was like, oh man, recycle my big flat file drawer full of paper miniatures and print out these tokens because they're so cool. And then that got me thinking, all right, it probably wouldn't be that hard to manufacture these one, you could get 1-inch tokens, you can get 2-inch, you can get 3-inch tokens. It's an epoxy. It's like, so like when you make an enamel pin, right? You have a mold made of the like outline of the design, and then the spaces in between, and then they press metal into them, or they pour liquid metal into the mold, and it fills it up and makes the design. And then what makes it an enamel pin is they squirt enamel into the like crevices of the line art to fill the color, right? So my thought is, and they have ones with epoxy tops. My thought is, what if you could make a simple, you have 3 molds, a 1-inch circle, just a circle, a 2-inch circle, and a 3-inch circle, right? And then instead of pouring epoxy into there and it just being a flat color, you printed a design, put it in there. Instead of pouring enamel in and it being a solid color, you printed a design, put it in there, and then filled epoxy over top to keep it. So it'd be a metal base, epoxy top. And like, that'd be a really, really nice token, right? Like really nice. It would last forever, basically. And it's somewhere in between a paper miniature and like a 3D miniature, but also like it's, you could have a big collection and it wouldn't take up that much space. It could be full color and like look cool. You wouldn't, 3D miniatures, you have to paint them. You wouldn't have to do anything. You would just get like a tube of of these tokens, and like, I don't know, I got really excited about that. It's like, this seems like totally doable. You do a Kickstarter, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, like the way I would approach this, and I don't know, let me know if you think this is cool. The way I would approach it is, I would do them in collections, right? So I'd have like the Goblin and Orc collection. You would do like an Undead collection. Yeah, you would do like a hero player character collection. And then, maybe the player characters, instead of having like a black base, maybe their base color is different. It's like a different color or something. So you could, like, even if you're not like over the tokens looking down, you can kind of tell the heroes are different from the monsters, right? So what I would do for the Kickstarter, I would go ahead and make a hero collection, Goblin and Orc, Undead. I'd probably start with 3. I don't know. Let's just, for the sake of talking about it. So I would go ahead and make those 3. Like, this is how they look. This is it, right? Help me. It would almost be like the goal would be pre-order, right? Like, I have, I would print 100 of each set, and like, get to the goal and I send you these, and then anything after that goal would be more sets. So you could do an animal set, you could do just all of the different stretch goals would be like more set, dragon set, right? And I'd have to figure out how many, it's like, if you get a goblin set, right? Like maybe it comes with 5 goblins, 3 orcs, a big 2-inch ogre, and I don't know, something else. So there's like, you know, maybe it's like 8 1-inch and then 2 2-inch ones or something. And then like a dragon set would be like 3 little 1-inch kobolds, and then more, or I guess you wouldn't have to limit it to 10. It just costs more, right? Like, you know, what if it was a whole set of 3-inch, you know, you got your 5 chromatic and your 5 metallic dragons, boom, dragon set. You know what I mean? Like elves. I mean, it's endless, right? Yeah, you could have the condition icons as well. Like that's a great, you know, maybe even there's like a little 1/2-inch one, and you could do like condition icons. That would probably be good. Good, like, this is the if you back the Kickstarter, you get all the condition icon kind of things. I think I don't know. It's another project to add to the list. I think it would be very cool, but again, it's a lot of work. Item ones, yeah, man, little treasure chests and stuff, like little piles of gold, great. Yeah, so just let me know when and how much. That's like that. Yeah. Okay, so I think I've gone over an hour here. If you've got any last questions you're interested in, happy to answer. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm talking about all these crazy projects that I have in my head, and I don't know. Maybe one of you will be like, oh, I'm gonna do that myself, and then I'll just back your Kickstarter instead. But no, these are all things I would love to do. But right now, I'm very excited about this Goons and Ghosts game, and the 3 adventures I have coming out. I think not this coming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday I will be playtesting the final game, and in the meantime, I'm wrapping up writing on the Land of Eam stuff. The first draft of the Land of Eam adventures, and that's another exciting Kickstarter thing that. Or that was backer kit thing. Hold on. Let me link that. Cause they just opened up the backer kit pre-order store, open now. Yes. I believe. So Land of Eam is, I'm not gonna explain it too much. Just go look at this Land of Eam stuff, and these books are gonna be awesome. This is gonna be a super fun. It's a D12 game, and I'm writing 2 adventures for it that I'm like thick in the middle of writing. The first drafts are due very soon, and I'm getting there. But I think you can get it on BackerKit, and you'll still get the PDF that I made, hopefully. Yeah, so that's going on now, and I'm just really stoked on the Patreon has grown a lot, and I just like can't explain like how appreciative of it's like such a cool thing where, you know, it's like I'm busting my ass to make something cool every month, and the deadline is difficult, but then like there's a lot of people on there that are psyched on the stuff I'm making and are willing to support me making it, and it's like the most encouraging and rewarding thing. So like I'm talking about all these other projects and stuff, but like my Patreon is like where I'm most excited to throw my creative energy at the moment. So go check that out. Go check out Landveam. Would I be interested in partnering with another indie RPG developer? That's an interesting thing to talk about. Part of... So I could... How deep do I want to get into this? This is something maybe I'll talk about like more in depth in the future. But basically everything I just said about the Patreon, a big part of it... a big part about why I love it so much. Like we have a really, really nice Discord. It's not like overbearingly active. Like you can kind of casually keep up with it if it's something you're interested in, and people post like cool projects they're liking. People are posting like artwork, work in progress, or talking, you know, whenever there's like a cool new thing that comes out, we talk about it in there. But it's not like overwhelming. And part of the Patreon stuff that I think is so cool and what makes it so rewarding is the like direct one-to-one that I have with people that are interested in the stuff I'm making. So you know, it's like I get to like doing this live stream, I'm talking to you here, like there's like an actual direct connection, and there's something really special about, you know, like I came from the indie comics world where you know, I used to make, I hate saying I used to, but I spent years and years making mini comics, and the whole thing was I would have an idea, I would write it, I would draw it, I would physically print it, staple it, fold it, and then I would go to a convention and hand it to you, or I would put it in a mailer and mail it to you. And while I'm not physically printing the zines anymore, I'm still doing all of the writing, all of the drawing, all of the layout. You know, I am sending it to the printer and getting it back, but then I'm also putting each of these books every month into envelopes and putting the label with the patron's name on the envelope and handing it to the USPS that sends it out. And I think it might just all be in my head, but I think there's something really special about that. And I might be at a place where I'm okay, or I prefer that there's, you know, I'm sending out like 100 zines a month right now. And I might be at a place where I prefer to have those 100 people that I have this direct connection with. Whereas if I worked with a publisher that handled all of this other stuff, which, you know, would probably be nice. It would be nice to have some editing help. But then, you know, it would reach 1,000 people, or whatever the number is, you know, like those books would go out to 1,000 people. And then like, I think I prefer being more connected to the 100. I know that doesn't totally make sense, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah, thank you, Jason, man. I appreciate you, dude. I'm really. Yeah, Victor. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just that. I think that's where I'll leave it. I probably will talk about this more in the future, especially when a Dragon Town and the Darkness Below Kickstarter happens. I will absolutely talk about this more, because there's like some personal stuff that kind of led me to thinking about that very question that I've been talking about for 10 minutes a lot. So yeah. Okay. This was a fun stream. Let me know what everyone thought of. I think I kind of like the talk a bunch up front, maybe not for 40 minutes, but talk a bunch up front and then like interact with chat more. I think that's kind of a cool way to do the stream, and then I'll feel better about like just leaving it up on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate all the kind words here. I think it's time to end it, and I'm not gonna talk about myself anymore for a while, because I might have just gotten really self-indulgent here, talking about all these ideas and all this. So okay, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. I really appreciate all the kind words again. Yeah, the stream will be up on the YouTube channel. Sometimes YouTube is a little weird and it like takes a little bit, but it'll be there. That dude, awesome. Yeah, go play some tabletop role-playing games. That's what I'm gonna leave it on. All right, thanks everyone. Super appreciate it. All right, bye. Goodbye.